We have the champ, Tori Nelson, on the line, as well as UBF representative, Rich Spilotro. Could you two just say what's up to the fans?
Hey guys, how are you? What up? How's everybody doing?
This is Philip Harris. How y'all doing, man?
Good, thank you. How are you?
Not too bad. Not too bad. I appreciate both of y'all doing the show. First off, Miss Nelson, thank you for allowing me to talk to you once again.
Well, thank you for having me. Hi, Mr. Richard. How are you? Hey, how's it going, Tori? Good, thank you.
All right, so we're going to jump right in here. We're going to talk about what all the fans want to hear about right now. Miss Nelson, you got a big fight coming up. I ain't going to lie, I didn't see it coming. But it's here, January 12th. Can you let the fans know a little bit about this fight, what it means to you, and how did it come about?
Well, we knew this fight was going to come eventually. It just means I like fighting number one girl. So she's number one. She worked her way to come up here. So in order for me to stay on top, I fight the person on top. So I look forward to it, you know.
Okay. So would you agree that we all know this is your biggest fight, but how big is it as far as competition? Not on paper. On paper is huge. But how big is it as far as in like your training camp?
We're not training. It's different, you know. He put one leg in the pants several times. You know, she's still a female fighter. Like, there's nothing different about her. She has speed, yes, and she's done good. She had a very good amateur background. But amateur and pros are different. And I know she's coming. You know, I know she's training to be better than that. I train hard for everybody. I don't look over anybody. Not one person. Only take that one person.
That's what's up. This is Jason Ford. Rich, my question is for you. With the UBF being such a young sanctioning body and it being tough waters to tread through as far as boxing, not only being a young belt organization and dealing with building credibility, how big of a fight is this for you with the fact that Tori Nelson wears a UBF strap?
Well, for me personally, I think the credibility factor's been there because we have the number one fighter in the world. So when you have Tori Nelson, who's been there, done that, fought the best, won against them all, undefeated. She's been doing this for quite some time, so it's nothing new. We also had plenty of other, women champions that went on to win probably other belts. But, the main thing I tell everybody, I talked to you before, politics. So politics plays a big part, but I think that we have the best fighter in the world right now in that division, which is Tori Nelson. She's been doing this for quite some time. So I think it's pretty black and white.
That's what's up. Tori, this question is for you. Everyone's talking about Claressa's quick explosion on the scene, per se, just in the sense of only having 4 professional fights and already fighting for a title and things of that nature. For you, your climb was much different. Can you just sort of explain to the fans just how hard the grind has been to get to the point you are now?
The difference between me is I had to go all the way around the barn, sweat, tears, crying, everything to get to where I am. The difference with her, she had the red carpet laid out. I didn't have any, there was no female Olympics when I was coming. So, for her it was pretty easy. For me, I had to earn absolutely everything I got, and I worked hard for it. I prayed for this, and God see that it's my time, and He's going to give me what's mine.
Is there anything about Claressa that you feel you need to change as far as your fight game, or are you basically, like you told me before in another interview, you train for fighters the same way no matter who they are? Is that still the case?
Yeah. I mean, my trainer, you can look at me, but I'm blessed to have the best coach out there, I'll say, hands down. He looks at the females that I'm fighting, and he trains me to the weight. You can look at any fight that I have, and you'll see I'm a different fighter in almost every fight. Because, I train to who I'm fighting. So it's the only thing I'm adjusting with her is speed. But your speed only lasts for so long. You know? And I done been in the waters. I done been in the deep waters plenty of times. So let's see when I take her to the deep waters to see how she do.
That's what's up. Rich, I'm bouncing one back on you, big dog. As you sit back and watch this, not only I know you're a UBF representative and things of that nature. Let's X that out. I know you're a guy that does homework, and you're a boxing fan. You love boxing. You know what I mean? Just as I do. So as you sit back and we look at this matchup, beyond the names, what is one of the things as far as skill sets that intrigues you about this matchup?
You know what? The crazy thing is with this is that you have someone who I think made their pro debut at 19. I think Tori, if I'm not mistaken, made hers probably maybe 34, 33. She could probably answer that. And something like that. So, I think in the fourth fight for Shields, she won her middleweight title. Tori Nelson won hers in her fifth pro fight. So, if you put even their first four bouts together as a pro, Claressa, she's 35 and 9-1, Tori's 19, 10-3. So, they're going in a similar path. It's just a different time. But I can tell you, I like the fight. This is not the first conversation I had with Tori that we try with her team that we try to get the best fighters to fight her. Yeah. People come up with all types of stories, medical conditions. You'll be surprised about what happens in the background. I know about it because I try to work on it, try to make it happen. Tori can tell you that. So I just think I knew this fight was always going to happen. I'm just glad that it's happening now than later. I think it's the right time for it. I think it's good for women boxing. I think it's good for the division. I think it's good for pretty much everybody that's coming up in the sport. So, it's a great fight. A lot of people don't understand that Tori fought some of the big punchers they are. And every time when I talk to another trainer, another manager, they look at tape on her or film, and one thing they come to, because Tori, every fight, they always say, oh, this is the girl that's going to be Tori. And it never happens like that. And I tell people it's kind of like a puzzle. You could look at a puzzle piece and you figure you're going to put everything together, but if you're missing that piece, that's it.
Right.
So that's what it is with Tori. No one could solve that puzzle. So could it be Claressa? I don't know. I can't tell the future, but what I could say is it's going to be a good fight, and I think everybody should tune in for that fight to watch it. We had the queen that's been sitting on the throne for a lot of years now. So is Shields the one that's going to knock her off it? I don't know, but it's definitely going to be a good fight.
I agree. I couldn't agree more.
Now, Miss Nelson, this fight is January 12th. Once you get in that ring, how do you think it's gonna go? Are you one to predict the round? Like, are you gonna knock her out? Is it going decision? How are you viewing this fight?
No, I don't know. I know she's coming. I know she's going to bring me her speed for the first 3 rounds. But then you only been 4. So we're going to see how you feel after that 4th round. I don't know. I always been taught you fight a boxer. You box a fighter. So it depends on what she brings. I'll have whatever opposite is. But I know it's going to be a good fight. It's going to be a good fight. It should be two real champions. 2 champions fighting it out.
Right.
I've got a question for you, Champ Nelson. What's been one of the biggest things in your illustrious career that you've had to overcome. You know, it may have been a moment in a particular fight or a moment where your career was stagnant, but something that you feel was a major hurdle that you got over, and it helped you get to where you are.
It's kind of personal, but it's I lost my marriage to boxing. You know, my husband told me he loved boxing more than he loved me. And I had to get over that. Like, it was hard for me. And I had to adjust to it and get over it and still continue to fight and raise my children. You know, so, I mean, that was the hardest thing. Hands down.
That's what's up, man. Well, I appreciate you sharing that. You know, I didn't know it would end up touching the string that it did, but Champ, I do appreciate you sharing that with us. You know what I mean? I'm very grateful for that. That's a very humbling moment. You know what I mean? And I think sometimes in life, people forget that we're all human. So despite you being a champion and a world champion and have done all these great things, you are a woman and a mother. You know what I mean? So there's another layer to you. So I just thank you for sharing that. I've got one more question, and then I'm going to throw it back at Phil. Speaking on January 12th, you talked about deep waters. And I know you can't divulge much on the game plan as far as what you're going to do coming into the fight. But my question is do you think stamina will become an issue? I've heard you talk about her coming out fast, and we know how adrenaline runs really high. And then once you start to settle in, you have to go into your craft. So do you think stamina will be an issue for her coming into this fight?
Yeah. I definitely do.
What did you say? Simply put, Champ, yes. Yes, it will be an issue, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's my answer.
That's what's up. Hey, simply put, I like it. I like it.
Now, I'm already predicting you to win the fight. But in the instant that you lose, will it be detrimental, one, just for you to lose your O, or would it be more detrimental because she's only 4-0?
You know, I don't even look. It's hard for me to say that because I don't look at losing. I don't get into it, and I don't train hard, and I don't put my family behind me to lose. Like, that's not an option. So I don't know. I don't know how to look at it as losing. And that's not boasting. You know what I'm saying? I'm blessed.
Right.
It's not the boast, just that my confidence and just that I just think people should train or put your all into something if you still feel that you're going to lose in it. Once I put my all in it, I'm in it.
Right. Let me rephrase the question a little bit. Since she's only 4-0, that's just like Lomachenko. He's what, 6-1 or something like that, and he's already a champ. Now, there's certain people that won't fight him just because he hasn't won that much. You know, like he came out fast, just like Claressa Shields. So some people might fight her and not even think that she's worthy of the fight because of like the experience that you have. So does that make this, like, does that heighten this fight at all, or is it just another person?
I mean, at the end of the day, she's only just another person. Of course, she's a champion. She joked a lot of people to come up here to be on top. I still feel in my heart, if she would have fought some of the girls I fought, if she would have fought K.O. Reese, I don't think she'd be up here. If she would have fought Napoleon, I don't think she'd be up here. If she had fought Rachel Clark, I don't think she'd be up here. You know, just those females, like, with the line that I had to go, I don't think she would have made it up here. So,
that's what's up.
I mean, no, I wouldn't. I mean, I don't know. It would be devastating if I lost. But I feel like if I had to do it, that'd be to the number one person. Okay. But, I mean, I don't look at it that way.
That's what's up. Rich, this question is for you.
Jason, you know what's crazy? Because when I'm hearing this, it's amazing what Shields have done so far, right? The first American to win gold, you know, American woman, you know, 2-time Olympian champion, 2012, 2016. They got the documentary on her, amateur record, 77-1. She only lost to Savannah Marshall of England. She just recently won the Nickelodeon Kids' Choice Awards. But you know what's crazy is that she done so much, but we also got to look at what Tori did for starting boxing, turning pro at such a late age that she did, and did everything that she has done thus far to this point. That's something else that's just amazing, where I think that's something that we should highlight what these two women did in both of their careers. It's just something that's unheard of. So when you talk about Lomachenko, it's the same thing with Shields, but even with Tori Nelson, what she's been able to accomplish is pretty much nothing short of amazing as well. Absolutely.
Absolutely. And before I get into this question, we want to shout out K.O. Reese, who's hitting us up. You know what I mean? She's tuning in here to the broadcast. But this question is for you, Rich. You speak about some of those dark rooms, and I know a little bit, you know what I mean, a little bit about them, you know what I'm saying, but can you just kind of take me in to a day of doing business at the UBF? You know what I mean, as you're talking to fighters, you're talking to managers, you're talking to promoters, you're getting those odd calls where people are like, hey, I got a fighter, his record is this, that, and the other. Can you just kind of take me through that hectic day, and then just sort of how you sort through the business, so to speak?
Yeah, definitely. So for me personally, and you know this, Jason, and everybody else, everybody was like, hey, you should focus more on the men, you should do this, you should do that. But at that time, no women were getting put on television. So for me personally, I just wanted to focus more on women boxing. And, you know, some people might hear the bigger organizations or whatnot, and nowadays you got the internet and you could kind of see who they were fighting for the world titles. You know, it's laughable. But with us, which I talked to a lot of people, I said, well, we got to do different than everybody else. Was this? Let's not worry about money. Let's not worry about politics. Let's just put the best female fighters out there. Let's stand behind them. Let's market them. Let's promote them. You know, so that's kind of like where I wanted to go. But there's a lot of goofy stuff that goes on. There's a lot of politics. There's a lot of different sanctioning organizations that were out that were before us. Pretty much they came, they fall. But for me personally, it's just like I get a lot of wacky calls, a lot of wacky people, and everybody wants to be a champion, but they don't want to fight anybody. Right. So for me personally, I'm not going to take that little money that you're going to offer me and try to bribe me and all this other stuff, because for me personally, boxing is a sport that people, you know, lost their lives in. Absolutely. So this is something that I don't take lightly. You know, I take it very seriously, and people fall. I got to respect the champions that fought for this organization prior, and even the ones that are currently fighting, and even the ones in the future. Absolutely. So for me, there's no, you know, favoritism or anything else like that. You know, I just go for, let's just put the best fight there for the fans, and that's just what it is. I really don't even base it on records, you know, because most of the time, if you look at these fighters, they handpick their opponents, and, you know, 48-hour notices and all this other crazy stuff. You know, building the records, everybody's scared to get a loss. So I think that's what's pretty much hurting boxing as well. So if you look at the old guys, Jersey Joe, Walcott, everybody else, they got losses, you know. Right. But they fought the best, and they presented the best fight possible for the fans, and that's when boxing would, you know, pack up 50,000 in the arena, even more than that. It was just insane. It was just something that people will go around their little radio and listen to what's going to happen, or, you know, in this particular fight. So, but yeah, as far as the back end, it's just a lot of politics, which, Jason, you know how that is. Absolutely. We covered shows before. Yeah, so we know how it is. We know how laughable it is. We know how people take dives. We've seen it firsthand. Me and you laughed about it. Couldn't believe it. We're doing this literally in front of our face. You know, so, you know, that's the thing. For me personally, I know there's a lot of money in boxing. There's, you know, and when you have that influence, that's where people kind of tarnish the sport and everything, you know? Okay,
but let me ask you this. As you're building, you know what I mean, what is one thing that you want people to recognize as far as the UBF? as far as one of their character traits, so to speak, that sets them apart for some of those other sanctioning bodies? You know, I've heard you mention
Ethics.
Oh, my man,
Ethics.
my man. So you standing on something?
Yeah, I would just say ethics. I would say that, and also I would tell you, go look at our champions. You know, I mean, at any given time, just look at it. Who's currently our champions?
Now you are about to give out one fucked up belt. You know that, right?
What's that?
The honorary J4 heavyweight champ belt.
That's been in the making.
You about to get up? Hey, Tori, you had to laugh at that shit. I'm getting an honorary. You know how they give out honorary diplomas and shit? I done earned an honorary motherfucking belt. And if any other broadcasting podcast motherfucker want to try and take it, they can come get it. They can come try and get it.
Crazy, Jason.
And we'll do it.
Who was our first? You know who our first honorary champion really was, though?
Who's that?
Omar Henry, rest in peace.
Oh, that's what I remember. I remember that. Absolutely, I remember
when
that.
He passed away.
Absolutely,
you know, that's someone that was a knockout artist, climbing up the ranks so fast, and you know,
absolutely.
You know, he like the guy really like caught his fans and did what he had to do, and he was one of those guys that took advantage of social media at that time. You know, unfortunately, he died way too early due to cancer. But during the funeral and during his funeral, I actually, you know, surprised his sister and his family, and I awarded an honorary championship because that's kind of like where he was going. He was definitely going to be, you know, world champion and whatnot, and you know, so I thought that was the right thing to do.
Absolutely. And speaking of this, as we talk about not only that moment, I'm gonna take you back to another early UBF moment with what was one of the earlier champions won a regional belt? Donito, what was his name? Bana something.
I'm talking about Donatas Banarovas.
See, I know you could pronounce it. That's why I shut the fuck up, and I just yeah. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, he was. I believe he was actually Lithuanian. I don't know if he was an Olympics, but I know he was an amateur standout as well. And that's the one who fought King David Thomas, actually. Exactly.
So I bring that fight up to bring this up. I've known your ass from the backwaters and the backwoods. You know what I mean? And I've told you from day one since I've been associated with you, Rich. Yeah. You have a passion which will equal whatever you want it to be in this sport. And we know sometimes the riches in life ain't riches in money. It's riches in wealth of relationships. You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
And with you saying the UBF and ethics, motherfuckers don't use them terms in boxing. You know what I mean? So it's beautiful to hear, man. So that's one of the reasons I'm a little biased to you, because you my man's from way back. But it's beautiful to see where you are right now. You know what I mean? And it's beautiful to see where Tori is right now, and then you guys working together and you all having a relationship. You know what I'm saying? It's just great, and it's a pleasure having you.
Thanks, Dad.
All right, Miss Nelson.
Yeah.
I know you spar and everything. For this fight, are you bringing in anybody special to spar for this fight?
We may have one surprise. We said we put this house, but yes, we may have one surprise coming in.
Okay. Okay. Now, we're actually planning on coming out to the fight on January 12th. So, I'll definitely be in touch with both of y'all.
We need tickets. This nigga's bashful. This nigga's playing on the mic,
listen.
yo.
And KO Reese just had a shout out. She said losses are lessons.
Champ.
You need them to grow.
Champ.
She said that hand-picked shit is giving boxing a black eye, so to speak.
Champ Nelson.
And she also,
I'm talking to you. I'm talking over Phil right now. I'm going back to the question beforehand. We need tickets, bro. We need tickets. We want to be there. We want to be there and do that. We want to be there and do that. But you acting like it wasn't that.
Most people just come to the fight. To be honest with you, like a lot of people are coming. A lot of people from women boxing, and KO, that's my homie right there. I love that girl. You know,
and we've had her on the show before.
she's the road warrior. I always told her that. She goes out and she fights anybody. There's no hand picking. There's never saying no. She's one of those girls that she definitely deserves to be called a champion. She goes in everybody's backyard. Tori fought her. I mean, she knows. I mean, KO, I got much respect for her. Good person. Very, very good heart, her and Shelly. So I gotta plug them too. I gotta give a shout out for them. I love those two girls. They do a lot for boxing. Whether you agree with some of the antics that Shelly does or not, she definitely, still represents the sport.
Obviously,
boxing,
Rich, you ain't tuned in to Standing A Live. We love antics. We don't mind antics. Yeah, that's the last thing we worried about. We said no, but I appreciate that, man. You know what I mean? And I know my dude Phil has a couple more questions for the champ before we close this thing off.
Actually, Tori, KO Reed said, if you need sparring, holla at her.
Uh-oh.
Okay. Thank you. Well, I'll take it to my coach and see.
Okay. Well, man, we appreciate y'all coming on the show. Always great to talk to you, Miss Nelson. Can you tell your fans how to reach you, how they can follow you, anything like that?
You can follow me on Facebook. I stay on Facebook under Tori Nelson. Or you can come on to Instagram. I don't do too much. I got somebody else running it. I do get on every now and then. And I think it's just Tori Nelson. And you can hit Anthony Nixon, go on his page.
Big ups to Anthony. He been interactive. Big ups to Anthony. I didn't want to cut you off, Jim, but big ups to Anthony because your marketing guy been working for you. Just know that. Your guy been working for you. Overtime. I swear, I looked up. I said, shit. He is working. He working. So big up to the Mix. He just got a new nickname from Standing A Live. He's now called The Mix. Big up to The Mix. The Mix.
I'm saying he's always into something. Yeah, he'll tag me to all the drama too on my status, and I get like 8,900 messages of just some.
Rich, you like that shit? Get the fuck out of here, Rich. You like that shit?
What, I like it, but man, sometimes it's just a little too much because I'm trying to sleep and I keep getting alerts. Like, man, that man don't sleep.
He don't.
Turn your phone off. You can't turn your phone off, though. Hey, I said turn your phone off, but can you really turn your phone off? Tell the truth. Can you really turn your phone off, Rich?
No, hell no.
Absolutely not. Germany calls at fucked up 3 in the morning and shit. You know what I mean? People call it fucked up times. See, people don't realize what boxing, and that's what I love this interview tonight because you guys took them into those depths of boxing. Boxing ain't no you turn that shit off like when somebody get home from work. You know what I mean? Boxing's that shit your phone vibrating at 2, 3 in the morning with something stupid. Yeah. It could be a real call, could be a dumbass call. You know what I mean? But your shit ringing. And you have to go with that sometimes. You know what I mean? But we sure appreciate both of you coming on. Once again, we've had Rich Spilotro on from the UBF. And we've had the UBF champ as well as a WBC champ as well as just the fucking champ. Excuse my language. Excuse my language, Nelson. I'm sorry. But shit, the motherfucking
you
champ.
Sorry now. You've been cussing the last 15 minutes.
Well, it ain't that I'm not. I cuss. Shit. It ain't that I don't. Shit. You heard that? Shit. It ain't that I don't cuss. But I'm for the champ. You know what I mean? I know. But yeah, big ups, man, and we appreciate you guys coming on Standing A Live. You know what I mean? Once again, Rich, she's gave all her handles. We need them UBF handles. We need them Rich handles real quick before we get out of here.
www.ubfboxing.com or just search Universal Boxing Federation on Facebook. We're on Twitter, UBF Boxing, Instagram, UBF Boxing. Pretty much Facebook is where we like to be because we get to interact with a lot more people, see the face behind the screen name. But yeah, I would definitely say check us out on Facebook.
That's what's up, man. Once again, Standing A Live appreciates your time. You know what I mean? For all the fans tuning in, if you didn't catch this broadcast, use a sucker because it's real deal, man. Straight up. Appreciate your time, champ. Appreciate your time, Rich. Much love. Standing A Live.
Thank you all. Have a good night.
Y'all do the same.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks. Bye.
All right, that was Tori Nelson, the champ, and
Rich Spilotro.
Damn, you said Spilotro. You added up Spilotro.
Spilotro, there you go.